Hey everybody, welcome back. I want to respond to yet another anti-Scentsy, anti-MLM video that claims the company is collapsing. Consultants are panicking. Leaders secretly know the company is switching to affiliate and that the company is basically abandoning the consultant model entirely. Yeah, before I start, let me say something clearly. There are some concerns discussed in this video that are legitimate. It is true that the economy is difficult right now. It is true that some consultants, it appears, have left Scentsy for other companies. There have been some frustrated people who have posted things online. Those things are real and those things are mentioned in the video, but the conclusions drawn from these facts are where the video starts drifting away into total unfounded speculation. Because throughout the entire commentary, ordinary business challenges are treated as proof of catastrophe. And they just aren't. Let's break it down. Number one, Scentsy is using false scarcity. One of the first claims made is that Scentsy is intentionally creating fake urgency around limited products, things like available while supplies last, don't wait, and the best products go first, are framed as manipulative scarcity tactics. Here's the problem with that criticism. Limited inventory is normal retail behavior, especially with launch products, bundles, seasonal items, clearance items, mystery boxes, promotional kits. This happens literally everywhere. Nike does it, Disney does it, Bath and Body Works does it, Amazon sellers do this, Costco does this constantly, and sometimes companies do genuinely run out of product. And honestly, if Scentsy underestimates inventory and sells out so fast, critics then say, wow, that was really poor planning. But if they warn people inventory may not last, suddenly it becomes manipulation. You just can't have both arguments at the same time. Item number two, the products are secretly bad. This was one of the more unfair stretches in the entire video. She says the mystery products will be packed first, and somehow that gets translated into, so they admit the products are terrible. No, that's not what that means. It means mystery assortments may vary. That's really common with mystery boxes and liquidation bundles and surprise packs and warehouse clearouts. And best is sort of subjective anyway. Some customers love laundry products, some only want wax bars, and some only care about licensed products. Some don't care about any of that. The commentary repeatedly takes neutral business language and interprets it in the most cynical way possible. How about number three? This is a good one. Every consultant who steps back proves that Scentsy is failing. Oh, this is the biggest leap in the whole video. Just because you tried Scentsy and failed doesn't mean Scentsy is failing, Sam D-. A consultant says they still love the products, they still appreciate the people, but they feel overwhelmed. They have a busy full-time job, they want a bit more balance, and they don't want to grind consistently. And the reaction is, see, the whole company is collapsing. That sounds a bit more like maybe burnout or life adjustment than scandal. Burnout exists. People burn out in corporate jobs or in entrepreneurship. People burn out in teaching and real estate. People burn out in ministry and content creation. Literally every performance-based environment. The consultant says he still likes Scentsy, he still values the income, it helped him pay some bills, he appreciates the community. Those are important details. But the commentary mostly skips over those and focuses only on negativity. Plate number 4 that she just gets wrong. Nobody wants parties anymore. I will say, there is some truth in this section. Some traditional parties are less effective than they used to be, according to reports online from consultants. That is not unique to Scentsy. Consumer behavior changed everywhere after 2020. People are harder to engage online. People are more cautious with their spending right now. People are overwhelmed with notifications. And they're less interested in event-style selling. That is real. And adapting to changing consumer behavior is not evidence of a collapse in the business. Every industry involves. Retail has evolved. Social media has evolved. Advertising evolves. Direct sales evolves. And some consultants still do parties successfully. Others use other things like Facebook groups or texting, TikTok, in-person events, some kind of referral system or customer appreciation ideas. That's adaptation. It is not proof that the business is dead. Number 5, the compensation changes prove that Scentsy is struggling. This is where nuance really matters. The video repeatedly frames the PRV bonus increase from $2,000 to $2,500 as pushing consultants. But businesses adjust incentive structures all the time. It happens in sales jobs, affiliate programs, retail, management, banking, insurance, corporate bonuses. Do consultants have a right to dislike those changes? Oh, absolutely they do. Disagreement with a compensation update is not proof a company is collapsing. Notice a thing important. The consultant himself says, I stopped working the business as hard. That really matters. You can't simultaneously reduce effort, reduce consistency, reduce your customer activity, stop some of the behaviors that got you to success, and then treat lower results as evidence that the company is doomed. It turns out those things are connected, and many people who have tried and not been successful in running a direct sales business then want to turn around and say that the whole model is broken and evil because they personally did not have success. Number 6. Nobody should recruit because success isn't guaranteed. This is another area where the commentary oversimplifies reality. The consultant says, I don't actively recruit because I don't want people to be in the same situation. Then later, he also says he paid bills with his profits from his business. He's thankful for the income. He values the side hustle. He loves the products, and he appreciates the people. So which is it? The reality is probably somewhere in the middle. It did help him financially. It also required effort. The market became harder and his personal priorities changed. That's a much more honest and balanced interpretation than MLM disaster confirmed. Honestly, most side hustles are difficult. Ask any Etsy sellers that you know, any YouTubers that you know, any realtors, Amazon sellers, freelancers, photographers, personal trainers. Very few flexible income opportunities are easy money. On a personal note, I saw a tragedy happen this week. A franchise in my town is shutting down after having been open for maybe a year and a half. That company, the people who bought the franchising rights and invested in that company are probably losing tens of thousands of dollars in franchising rights, in opening up a brick and mortar retail establishment, in the marketing, everything that goes into it. So sad, very tragic. Yet nobody's creating anti-franchise videos. As if when you buy a kit with Scentsy and it's $99 and then decide to quit later, it's some huge societal tragedy. It's the easiest, lowest barrier to entry business you can possibly do. Okay, point 7. Scentsy is secretly switching to affiliate. Oh, man. This is where the video becomes entirely speculation. The evidence presented is basically some leaders have stepped back, some wording sounded different, some leaders joined other companies, and some consultants are selling without building. And from that, the conclusion becomes Scentsy is definitely flipping to affiliate. Oh man, that is an enormous leap. First, that has been going on for the entire 20-plus year history of Scentsy. When Scentsy started in 2004, by 2005, 6, 7, 8, some leaders were stepping back. Some wording sounded different than it did in the very beginning. Some leaders were joining other companies, and some consultants were selling without building. And now, 20 years later, they're still not affiliate. Second, companies constantly evolve compensation models and branding language and customer strategies without abandoning direct sales. Honestly, some consultants want a customer-focused approach. Not everyone joins Scentsy wanting to build a big team. Some simply want discounted products, extra spending money, flexible side income, and occasional sales. That does not mean the direct sales connection is ending. That's silly. Point 8. She gets wrong. Leaders leaving means that they know this secret information. Oh man, this is another major assumption. The video repeatedly suggests that top leaders have signed NDAs. They know secret, hidden things, and they're quietly escaping before disaster hits. But there is no actual evidence presented for this beyond just what Sam D- thinks. She's reading between the lines. But people leave companies for all sorts of reasons. Maybe they have changed in priorities. Maybe they do have an interest in the new product. Maybe their family situation changed or the market shifts. Maybe they have different personal goals. Ironically, this same video admits several departing leaders spoke very positively about Scentsy and the founders. And that's important. If the company were truly some collapsing nightmare, you'd expect far more bitterness and hostility. But the non-drama way in which some leaders are leaving, even with positive messages from Orville, Sam D- takes to mean, see clearly, the company's collapsing. Otherwise, why would they be so nice? Even when they're nice, it's evidence that they're evil. Instead, many departing leaders say they love the products, they appreciate the experience, they're grateful for the company, and they value the relationships. That does not sound like people fleeing a disaster. The other important note is she highlights 2, maybe 3 people who say they're leaving. And then even in her own video, she shows an entire screen montage of people who went to that same secret meeting, who signed the same MBAs, posting positive, forward momentum building posts, saying how excited they are for the future, how engaged they are, how this secret meeting filled them with hope and optimism. So I don't know how many people were at that high-level meeting. I don't know how many people signed NDAs. But if, let's say there were 100 people there, and 3 of them decide to leave, and 97 of them go on to post positive things, I really begin to doubt that in that meeting, Heidi and Orville were sharing a message saying that the company was in free fall and they were about to go affiliate. No, if 97 people left and 3 stayed, I would say, oh yeah, there's something there. But the fact that she can highlight a couple people leaving and has to do an entire screen montage of all the people with positive messages makes me think she got it wrong. Okay, nearly to the end of all the things wrong. Number 9. The solo diffuser proves Scentsy is falling apart. This section is so exaggerated. A consultant gave some feedback that there was some residue left from this and the price point feels high and that some customers might hesitate to buy it. That sounds like very normal product feedback. Every company receives product criticism. Apple does, Dyson, Tesla. Every product launch gets feedback. Orville's response was pretty reasonable. He basically says they soft launched intentionally. They're refining some of these issues. The complaint rates overall are low. There are support procedures in place and they believe in the product. And that's how iteration works. The commentary acts like there's residue, therefore the company is imploding. That is not serious analysis, honestly. Soft launches exist specifically to gather feedback before wider scaling. That is very normal business behavior. All right, the biggest issue that I have with this entire commentary, maybe number 10, is every single challenge gets interpreted as proof of some hidden disaster. A consultant mentions feeling burned out. Oh, they're collapsing. A product gets mixed reviews. Oh, they're collapsing. A leader changes direction in her life. They are collapsing. There's a change in the compensation plan. See, they're collapsing. The company evolves language and it's some secret conspiracy, despite the fact that the significant majority of top leaders are not leaving. At some point, it stops becoming objective analysis and becomes confirmation bias from a person who, through her own admission, tried Scentsy, was not successful, and now seems to be wishing for their collapse. There are legitimate conversations worth having. We can talk about accurate income expectations. We can talk about burnout. We can talk about social media pressure, the changing market, all fair discussions. But turning every normal business challenge into the company is falling apart, I can read between the lines, seems so silly. So here's where I land after watching all of this. Scentsy is evolving. The market is more difficult than it was in 2020. Some consultants are filled with hope and optimism. Some are struggling. Some are stepping down. But some are doubling down. And the reality is, none of that automatically proves any type of secret insider information, secret collapse, secret affiliate change, a company-wide disaster, or some conspiracy. The consultant featured in this video actually gave one of the most balanced takes in the entire discussion. He appreciated the income, he valued the people, he liked the product, he acknowledged the challenges, and chose a different path for his own life. That's probably the most realistic takeaway here. Not blind hype and not blind doom, just reality. And honestly, the conversation around direct sales would improve a lot if more people operated in that middle ground of being realistic instead of assuming everything is either, oh, it's going to give you this life-changing freedom, or everything is, you all collapse. Reality is much more complicated than that, and we can all agree that we should probably take a breath and ground ourselves in reality. Thanks for listening. Like and follow.